start a new day. Incredible possibilities. My name is Julius Weems, and today I am calling you from beautiful Destin, Florida, and really excited to be sharing with you about this program, which I'm calling Save and Serve. And it's something that I um, added to my journey here in Think Energy because I grew up in the church and also served under some incredible pastors. But the very best pastor that I served under was my mother. I actually supported her in growing a church in Baltimore. And also, we have 9 pastors in my family. And so I've spent most of my life supporting community organizations, churches, youth programs. My oldest son was a college football player. So from the time he was 6, I ran a program with over 400 kids out of Laurel, Maryland. And so what I'm going to share with you today is about helping organizations not have to do fundraising anymore. And I said it that way. If you're a nonprofit, if you're a church, raising funds to help the members and the community is so important. And so today we're going to talk about a way you can do that, but in a very different way, a way that does not require you to continuously fundraise all year long. And it is a new way that has just blown my mind. I've had the opportunity to be a part of this community for the last 18 months. And I want everybody to understand that many of our organizations, community organizations, are always looking to find creative ways to raise funds and to make sure that those funds are consistent. And that has always been a challenge. You know, even working in the church, one of the things I always found was that my mother was paying electric bills and rents, and the church was doing everything it can for the community. And today I'm going to show you a way that is unique, that is different, where we're going to leverage a program that is a state and federal program to help organizations do more. And so if that is you, if you're somebody that's saying, hey, look, if I could find a way to make sure that my community, my church, my youth program, my there's another program called East's House that helps battered young women. But if you have any organization that needs funds, I'm going to share with you today an incredible creative way that you can earn funds consistently. You can help a nonprofit or a for-profit organization earn funds month over month over month. So let's get started. Again, I'm Julius Weems. I'll be your host for this call. This program I call it Save and Serve. It's the community energy and affiliate program for Think Plus. And I'm going to share with you who Think Plus is and what we do in a moment. So with that, I'm going to ask all of my guests, if you have questions, I will have a Q&A at the end. I will answer all your questions, and we will dig into the details of how the program works. For all of my pastors and leaders, any of my organizational leaders, I want to make sure I get your questions answered. I know after growing up in a church community and a family that your flock or your membership is sacred, and bringing anything in the doors is a very big step. And I want you to understand that I speak to you today from somebody who understands that, not just somebody saying, hey, let's do this. This is not just about raising funds for the organization. It is about protecting the members to make sure that whatever comes in is something that is of value and also that it does not damage. And that is so important for each and every organization leader I speak with. So let's get in. And so Think Energy. Think Energy has a very simple mission, and that mission is to make clean energy simple, easy, and affordable for everyone. One of the biggest things is that when we talk about affordable and clean energy, many times that is not an option for people that are in urban communities, people that are in communities that don't have access to homes, or if you don't rent. And so those are real concerns. But also, Think Energy has also proven itself to be able to deliver value. And we have a 4.4 out of 5 rating with the Trustpilot when it comes to the customer. And I share that with you because I want you to understand is that all of us, even myself, I have family that are part of this community, and it's very important that that those family members stay safe and what we deliver to them is of high value. And so tonight I'm going to share with you one of the most incredible programs that we've seen. And I'll tell you, I thought for a very long time, after I've been an engineer, my background is in engineering and IT consulting. I have been blessed to be able to support a lot of very large organizations. And when it came to being involved in this program, and I saw it 2 years ago, what I realized was this is going to be a game changer for nonprofit organizations, for churches, for organizational groups, because it will be the largest savings that Americans have had on energy for the last 30 years. And I can say that openly, that this has not happened before. You have not seen this before, and it is happening now. And I'm so it's such a powerful statement because there are certain times that really matter. And this is one of those times. I wish I could go back 30 years and this program exists when my mother was first starting her church, because what I know is that the members could have used this in a big way. And so the program is called Save and Serve, and I'm going to give you the foundation of it is that the members of your organization will save 5 to 25% on their energy costs for 20 years. Okay. So and I want you to write that down if you're taking notes, 5 to 25% on their energy costs for 20 years. And the serve part of this, which we're going to go into, is going to be really around the fact that the organization will be paid a donation for every member that signs up and paid residual on that member's usage. Okay. And so I want you to all know that, that is the powerful piece of this, because, you will actually be able to help every member, and each member will then support the church. So now what we're going to do is let's go to the foundation of what we're going to talk about today. And I want to ask a simple question is, how many people do you know in your membership that use electricity? And some of you are saying, well, everyone, Julius, but when we do fundraisers, and all of you know, we have been a part of different fundraisers. I know that I was the other day, I did this presentation. I was talking about there's this popcorn that's super popular, and you guys can put it in the chat. I can't remember the name of it. It's like this expensive popcorn that I buy for a ton of fundraisers. And it is super expensive. I think it's about $10 a bag. But we eat this big box of it for youth programs, for churches, and everybody sells it. And we buy it. But what I look at is that when we're buying for fundraisers, if it's selling meals at churches, if it's doing drives for food donation, we are continuously trying to see how we can have impact. And community organizations are always trying to find a way, how do we increase impact? Now, if I say to you, how many people in your membership use electricity? And we could say everyone, and there was a way that everyone could support the organization, what would that mean for your fundraising efforts? Because how many of those people would like to reduce their energy bill and cost, or eliminate it entirely? Now imagine that. Imagine being able to have every member in your organization to, one, reduce their bill or eliminate it. What impact would that have? When we look at religious organizations, we can say that it would allow people to have an extra, let's say $50 to $100 a month. Would that allow them to give more? What I find is that people would love to give more, but many times we are in a very interesting time right now, because we have people that are working, and it's the working poor. And it's a very sad thing today, because I looked at a study that said people have full-time jobs and they still cannot find a way to be able to pay all their bills. And we continue to see prices go up, and we look at the fact that the job market is supposedly getting better, but people still don't have the resources. And so when we talk about reducing costs for people, reducing their bills, it is a big step. And I'll tell you, most people think that one of the things I learned, I did verify this, because the number one request of a church organization or a religious organization is electricity costs. I actually thought it was rent and mortgage, but the number one request is energy costs, support for energy bills to get utilities in someone's home. And so one of the things I want you to remember is that members with this program will save for 20 years. And that is the part where I've never seen that before. And I was like, man, 20 years ago, imagine being able. I'm from the city of Baltimore, and my mother's church was on Fulton Street in Baltimore, and um, I know it would have been great to be able to offer members a 20-year discount on their energy bill. It would have been
Well,
something
Amin is the only one.
every member would have taken advantage of, and it would have been something that would have really been life changing. We are going to talk about additional benefits for people who are low to moderate income. And so thank you everybody for reminding me. Carol, thank you. Yes, it's called Double Good Popcorn Fundraiser. I've bought a lot of Double Good, a lot of boxes that come to my house. But like I said, is that every time we are looking at organizations trying to make sure that they have a consistent fundraising effort in order to do what they do. And so, why does this program make sense for your organization? If you're a leader on tonight, I want to be really clear about this: is that there's no more extra funding activities needed, no more extra fundraisers. We're going to focus on helping the community in the church and then around the church. We're going to focus on helping the members in the organization and then around the organization. And what we're going to do is we're going to help people save, and that's going to be free for them to do that. People are able to save on a bill they're going to pay every month, and by saving on it, it's going to actually give to the church. All right, and this is so powerful. And then there's what I call money-free fundraising all year long, because there is no exchange of currency. People are just going to do what they normally do, and that is going to generate the donation to the church, to the nonprofit, to the religious organization. All members qualify and are protected. And people say, well, Julius, why do you say are protected? Because we're at a time, everybody, that we have to ask the question, is this safe for my congregation? Is this safe for my membership? I love it because there's no contract. There's no termination fee. There's no situation where one of your members will be locked into a situation that's not going to be safe for them. And so that's really important. And I put that in there because I understand what happens in many organizations when things come in and people are damaged or hurt or deals don't work. Leaders are helping the members, and by helping the members, they're helping the organization. Imagine being able to come into your church and say, we have 100 members that are saving on their energy bill every month for the next 20 years. It's all I told somebody the other day, I said, if I gave you a coupon to your favorite grocery store and I gave it to you, and you could take that coupon, you could go into the grocery store and you could use it, it would give you 10% off. But you could take it back every month for the next 20 years. Would you take it? And it's free. That is the kind of conversation we're having. We're giving people a coupon on their energy costs for the next 20 years. And that is something that is continuously so powerful to me, because when you talk about having real impact, think energy and think plus. We are truly having real impact on people's lives, and the organization can see the impact. There are reports that we'll be able to show each week, each month, on how many people we're impacting, and then you can invite your community as well. And we're going to talk about what that looks like. So how does it work? How does the program work? It works like this: is that it is free to enroll. Okay, the program is called Community Solar, and it is free to enroll. The discount is 5 to 25% for up to 20 years. There's nothing to buy or sell or install. This is not, we're not talking about rooftops, having a rooftop to put solar panels on. We're not talking about if you rent an apartment, you qualify. And so when I tell people we're talking about community solar, we think about somebody maybe knocking on our door and we have to qualify for panels and we have to do some of those things. This is not that. Solar farms exist and on top of buildings in urban environments, on top of garages where we park, or in a farm where we see a solar farm as we drive down the road. That energy is then transferred to the electric grid, and we as utility members are able to use that energy and get our own piece of it. So imagine this, imagine going and subscribing to your piece of a solar farm and it's yours for the next 20 years. And that's what's happening with your members in your congregation. They are literally able to be able to save for the next 20 years by subscribing to their piece of a solar panel and a solar farm. And so here's how the program is. And for all of my guests, go ahead and take a quick picture of this because I want you to understand the value. I think the value is so big and so exciting because we're able to impact people. So go ahead and take a picture of this slide. And where are we at today? One of the things that I want you to know is that right now, Community Solar is a program that each and every state is beginning the legislation to roll out. Okay, we're looking right now. You can see the states, the active states we're currently in. You can see the states that are currently pending legislation, and you can see the states that are up next. But what's more exciting is that the whole map will be active over the coming years. So think about this. Think about the different organizations that you know or your family members know that literally could be helping people every day. When I ran my son's youth football program in Laurel, Maryland, the Laurel Hurricanes, we had over 400 kids and 400 plus families. And many of those families couldn't afford the registration for their kids to play sports. And so, being able to do something to help them would have been really major. But imagine if every time a parent signed up, that it would trigger a check to the organization. And so we did every kind of fundraiser you could imagine. I was actually going to sports stores asking for donations, working with community leaders to get donations to send my kids to the championship game in Florida. And so this is so powerful because now all we're going to do is we're going to focus on helping every member, every family to be able to have a real impact. And so here are the markets we're in today. And if you say, well, look, I don't see my state, I don't see my market, that's okay. I want you to understand that we can actually, we know that as markets open up, your organization will be here, but also we'll talk about families that are in your organization may know people in other markets and what that means. And so what's happening? Why is this happening now? The Inflation Reduction Act started this movement or this journey. And in the Inflation Reduction Act, one of the goals was to help get solar energy into areas that were not able to get it immediately, could not afford it, areas that maybe, if you live in apartments, we're looking at over 140 million residences in the country, right? And when we look at that, is that a big bulk of those aren't homes that people own. We're talking about apartments, condos. And now the Inflation Reduction Act allows for now solar energy to be received by everybody across the country. And as each state opens, we'll be able to offer that value to them. And so here's some other reasons why this is happening now. There's a transition to renewable energy. And we all know that. We know that the push for clean energy and clean energy sources is so important, especially with our ability here in the US. We import much of our natural gas and oil from overseas. And then we have an increased demand on electric vehicles. And that is just something that's happening. Every manufacturer, no matter what kind of car you have, every manufacturer will have an electric car in their fleet, if they don't already, by the year 2030. And then global instability. We definitely don't want we don't want wars, we don't want hostility across the borders, but at the end of the day, we have things happening around the world that do impact us, and it does impact our ability to generate energy, but our consumption is going up. And so the big thing is that we're continuously seeing over the last 3 years increase in energy costs. And so this is a step that each state is doing to fight that. And so as I'm continuing through, I want you to keep this question in the back of your mind, is that if each one of my members could save on their energy costs every month, what impact would that make? And I want you to really think about that as I continue through the presentation. The second value we give to each and every one of your members is the fact that we're able to leverage this powerful thing called energy deregulation. So energy monopolies were broken up. That means that your utility company couldn't just keep you locked in anymore. They actually had to give you the option to choose a supplier. And so many states and customers today, you can choose who supplies your energy costs, and you get the same utility company, same bill, and no disruption to your service. You just get a better value on that supply. So here are the markets we're in when it comes to retail energy. And our goal is simple. It is to make the cost predictable. That means we want to make sure that the costs are as stable as possible over time. Okay. So that you can now have, you can almost guesstimate what your bill is going to be with no surprises. With 1 to 3 year fixed price programs, 100% clean energy, long term fixed prices, no cancellation fees. Again, we talked about protecting your membership, no cancellation fees, and I'm so proud of our CEO who has committed to our customer. And I always say that because I have a family and I have friends and I have a reputation just like all of you. And I want you to know is that it is important that we find ways to make sure whatever we bring is high value. But our CEO, Michael Falquist, he believes that what we're going to do is help people, but also show them that they can get high value with our company. The Free Energy Club, which I'm going to talk about, and the fact that we protect 50 trees every time we get a customer. Our rainforest protection program is Broadening. And I feel like if you are in a organization that is about, if it's a religious organization or a nonprofit, I even think you should track how many trees did your organization protect, because imagine every customer that comes in, it's 50 trees protected. Imagine 100 having 5,000 trees that your organization protected and could actually share that as well. And so talking about having global impact, that is what we truly are about. And so what would it look like? Someone who signs up, again, we said that they don't change utility companies. So this is a utility company, and it would be wherever you are in the country, it would be your utility company. You would then see Think Energy here on the bill, and we would just be a line item on your bill. So you wouldn't necessarily see a Think Energy truck driving down the street. You would have your same energy company. You would call for the same customer service. You would just see a price that is predictable, that you can count on with Think Energy on that bill. And so let's talk about our electricity markets. Over 40 million potential customers. Every customer gets a $100 gift card once they've been with us for 6 months. I'm excited that we do that. We do that just to show, hey, look, if you're loyal to us, we're going to show you that we want to continue to help and support you as well, and each one of your members. But here's the part that is super exciting: our Free Energy Club. Our Free Energy Club is just that. It is a way that we say, hey, look, customer referral program, it empowers you to earn energy rebates every single month. Okay. And so when you refer 3 customers, your members get a 10% rebate every month. When they refer for 10 customers, they get a 40% rebate. That's a 40% of their bill. And then they refer 20 customers, they get 100% of their energy supply costs every single month. And here's an example of what that rebate looks like. Here's somebody who got $138.13 for their referrals, and they get that every single month. Now, when we talk about giving, right, and we talk about, the fact that I've shared 3 things with you, and I want you to write these down if you're a guest today. Number 1, we talked about community solar, which is a guaranteed savings program for 20 years. Number 2, we talked about predictable energy costs that people can count on, fixed price, long-term energy costs for your members. And number 3, we've talked about a Free Energy Club that's going to allow your member to be able to redeem rebates every month for gift cards and things of that nature. And so now we're talking about value, and also for all of these value to your members, there is no cancellation fee. And so I want you to write that down. And as I close out, I'm going to just kind of break down this last really cool thing. I'm a technologist. I'm an engineer by trade. And so I want you all to know is that we're using technology to help us help people. And our CEO, who, I don't even want to call him a geek. He's just an incredible businessman who understands that we must stay ahead and we must use technology to make us better. Well, he's created a Think Energy app. The app, number 1, helps educate people on their energy costs and consumption. So many of us I look at my energy bill, and I have for years. see all those numbers and different things. I look at the bottom and I say, okay, does that look normal? And I pay my bill. But for your members of your church, of your nonprofit, we want to educate them, and we also want to pay them more if they actually shift some behaviors. So if there's low demand, for example, if you're in a market and it's low demand, and or if there's high demand, and they were asked to, hey, will you turn your thermostat down 2 degrees? And it will actually say in the app that they would actually earn 2.1 cents per kilowatt for changing that behavior. Or if they run their dishwasher at a certain time, or if they charge their electric car at a certain time, they will actually earn rebates that they can actually turn into redeem for cash or gift cards. And that is something that they can do just by not even thinking about it. And that is the value that Think Energy and Think Plus really has focused on delivering. And so that is the member side of your church member, your nonprofit member, your youth organization member. That is what every one of your members gets. Okay, I want to be really clear. Each member can sign up for Community Solar, number one, a 20-year program that will allow them to save every month. Number two, fixed energy costs. And number three, free energy program. And on top of all of that, we have our Smart Think app that each member would get. Well, what does all that mean for your organization? All that means the next part I'm going to share. The first part was save. The second part is serve, because I believe every member that's in your organization does want to serve. I believe they if it's in a church, people give, and they give their time, and they give their passion, and they give time to ministry. And if they could, I mean, some people don't have the means to give more financially, but they give their time. And with a program like this, we can have somebody be able to give in a way that maybe they just never thought they could. And so let's look at the serve part of our program. Every time one of your members signs up for either our electricity product or for community solar, we're going to actually send it won't necessarily be a donation, but we'll send there's a fee that is earned every time a member signs up. So your organization signs a member, just like they sold me all of that. What is it, that Be Good popcorn? Let me go, Double Good popcorn. So now what happens is there's a payment sent to the organization for the sign up of that customer. So for example, someone signs up as an electricity customer, there's a $20 payment sent to the organization. They sign up as a community solar customer, depending on the state they're in, it's $60 to $120. So we're going to sit here at the 80 right now for this example. And so that's what we're going to talk about. And so let's look at an organization that is, and please go ahead and continue to put your questions in the chat. I will answer them. So please continue to put your questions in the chat. So let's look at an organization that has 100 members, okay? 100 members, and we're going to use the middle the $20 on electricity, and then we're going to use $80 on community solar. We know that could be 60 to 120. So let's just say for every member that signs up, the organization receives $100. Okay, so 100 members would be $10,000 to the organizations. On the electricity portion of the bill, those who sign up for electricity, what will happen is there will be a residual payment every single month in addition to the one-time payment, okay? On community solar, there's not a residual component, but there is a one-time payment, and then on electricity is a residual that will pay every month, okay? Now, let's just say in that organization has 100 members, and those members, just like, all of my friends come to me with my Double Good popcorn, and I'm talking about this popcorn, but the popcorn's really good, and it's actually, they seal it, and it's sealed so tight in those bags, but it's delicious. But imagine this: everybody goes in most of your fundraising activities, people go outside of the church to introduce Double Good popcorn to other people, their friends, their family, and everything. And those friends and family signs up, and that money then goes back into the organization, right? If it's a church organization, if it's a fundraiser, if it's a car wash, if it's selling meals, whatever it is, ultimately they're going out to share with their friends and family. But now imagine a church with 100 members going out to help 3 people in their family, help 3 people in their family save on their energy bill for the next 20 years. what if our mission, and I call it the community energy program, which when I talk to churches, I say, hey, look, let's create this community energy program because we're going to go help the community by showing them a way to cut on a bill they're going to pay for the rest of their life. So 100 members that go out and help 3 people. That church that's just 100 members now has 300 members in their program, and they're earning $30,000 coming into that organization. 100 member church, they helps 5 people. And then we can have discussions like as people begin to refer people to the program, it does not have to stop. It doesn't have to be one time. We can continue to help people in communities and in partnering churches. So for example, for a pastor, he can say, hey, look, my church is doing this program and we're getting a check, as our members come in, we're getting a check each week or each month, and we're helping people. And you should do this in your church. So pastors can help other pastors, and they also can bring more members into their program, and that will continue to help the organization month after month after month. Now, on the residual side, the residual portion on the electricity will pay anywhere from 90 cents to $64, depending on how much electricity members are using. And it can be members or even small businesses around the church or organization. But understand that residual, you're talking about a lump sum payment and then residual that's going to continue to come as long as people pay their bills. And we've not seen this before, right? Because and I know many organizations will either have additional offerings, or if there's a special event, they will look at other fundraising options, or the auxiliaries within the church will have different fundraisers in order to fund those auxiliaries. We had an incredible question on our last call, and it was a very large church organization, and they were saying, could each auxiliary participate individually because they have over 10,000 members. And so we actually looked at that, and we actually have a organization that is signing up that is going to do that. They're going to actually have each auxiliary, because those auxiliaries have 100 members each. And what we're going to do is put the church in and then assign all the auxiliaries under the church, and which is going to help the church as well. And so the serve part of this is powerful because remember that you're not asking for any additional funds. You're not asking for any additional time. You're asking people to do something that they are going to do anyway. And it's going to help your organization in a massive way. And that is what the Save and Serve program is truly all about. To get started, to get your organization signed up, it is not a huge fee. It is $59. $59 for the first year, and then the renewal in a year will be $149 for the year. There is no cost for your church websites. All of the technology behind the sign-up process is already done for you. It is ready to go. It can be up in less than 24 hours. You will have the ability to have your organization's name on the website. Members can go there. They can sign up. They just need their bill. And also you'll have a back office where you can run reports and see all of the members that have signed up. I always think it's incredible when you can actually take and run a report. And you can say to the organization, look what we did. We've helped 100 families save on their energy costs for the next 20 years. Look at what we've done. We've helped save on over 50,000 trees in the rainforest. Look what we've done. We've actually raised over $10,000 for a program in the church, right? If it's a youth program, if it's a school in the church, you have real reports and real data that you don't have to go build new systems and invest new dollars. It is all built into what our CEO and our team has built together in order to make sure that you can truly save and serve. And so that is the foundation of what we're doing. I always throw this slide up because we are ready to support you. I'm excited tonight. There's a special announcement on our State of the Company call, which I'm going to actually have one of my leaders on. Could you post that in the chat? It is, we have a monthly call, which is the state of our company. And I'm so excited. I started this call in the Save and Serve concept roughly over 2 months ago. And I'm excited that the company is not only a driving force behind it and supporting it, but also rolling out powerful things that will help all of us. And so, what I'm going to say is that if you're somebody that says, hey, look, I want to help my organization, or I have organizations I want to help, let us get started, and we will, your leader that introduced you will help you get set up. We have flyers for you to share. We have tools for you to use. We have a frequently asked questions that we will have for you to share with your organization as well. And so I want to thank everybody for joining us. I am going to take a few minutes and answer questions. And then what we can do is I will also post this call as well. We will be doing this call. This call is every Monday night at 7 p.m. Eastern. I want you to know we will be here every week. I am committed to this because I have so many incredible organizations that are excited about this. And so let me go through the chat and I will answer each question. So Sharon said, if a church wants to sign up, whose name is the advisor? Is it the pastor or the church's name? And what if the pastor gets transferred to a different location? Will the money go to the church or follow the pastor? Incredible question, Sharon. When we sign up in Think, we can sign up a business with a business EIN. So it can be the business with a business EIN. We do need to add a name to it. Some pastors, I recommend it is not the pastor. I recommend it is a financial leader in the church. But because it's under the EIN, all of the payments will go to the organization. Okay, it is not linked to the pastor. What I do recommend is because, and this is an option of the pastor, I do recommend that the pastor signs up as an energy advisor first, and then signs the church underneath. Because I know how much effort and work pastors do. Some pastors don't want to do that. But what I'm saying is on the Think Energy side, we're going to pay out based on our pay structure. And we're going to pay out 3 levels. So no matter if the pastor does it or not, our goal is to keep the funds in the community. So I recommend that the pastor signs up and then we sign the church up. And so, but that is an option. Some pastors won't do that. They will just sign the church up and we will work with their either deacons, financial board, financial leadership to put somebody's name on that. Next question, if the pastor participates directly, then both would be advisors. But either way, the church would become an advisor no matter. Yep. Thank you, Larry. You answered that perfectly. Thank you. Next question, can someone join from the states that are pending legislation, sign up and get benefits today, or do they have to wait until the legislation is passed? They can sign up. You can be an energy advisor in any state, in even any country. We have folks who are in different countries, Israel, folks that are in Brazil, folks that are in Germany, but you can be an energy advisor anywhere. It's as long as you sign up the customers in states that are actually in states where we are functioning, that legislation has been passed, you will get your same pay, you will get every benefit. You literally can start building a business before your state legislation is passed, which is phenomenal. We have people that are in states like Georgia. We have some folks in Georgia that are on, and super excited that they're building their business, but Georgia's going to turn on and they're going to already be running. And so we actually let people know, because even in churches, there are people that have relationships all over the country. And what we find is that even if your church is in, let's say, Maryland, but your members have relationships in New Jersey, they can sign up customers in New Jersey in those markets. And so that is, thank you so much for those questions. Are there any other questions? You can go ahead and unmute yourself if there are any other questions that you'd like to ask. I've had some different questions asked on each Monday night call, and I probably need to pull all my FAQs together and post that for everybody to look at as well. But any other questions, you can unmute yourself and ask those questions if you like.
Yeah, Julius, thank you for the presentation. That was excellent. I was wondering how we can get the appendix that you referred to.
Yes, it's a church playbook, and so what I will do is we will if you just reach out to me, I will send that out, and we'll get it posted on our Start That Think Energy biz site as well.
All right, thank you.
All right. Any other questions? All right. Thank you, everyone. Thank you for joining. Get with the person that invited you. If there's any questions that went unanswered, please follow up and get them answered. If you are in any organization, I want you to know you can help a whole lot of people, and you can help your membership. You can help the people around your organization, around your church, around your nonprofit, around your youth program. You can help a lot of people. And right now, we're on a mission. There's only 500,000 people that have signed up for community solar in the country. The goal is 5 million, and the Department of Energy put out that they want to almost triple that to 15 million over the next 2 years. And so I want you all to just consider, let's just go out and help a lot of people. And in doing that, we're going to build great organizations. Have a blessed night, and I'll talk to you all soon. Bye-bye.